Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I'm going to list the top 25 conscious raps. And there's no particular order to this list because that would be difficult for me to do. These are all classic songs. So I'm going to list them. And as I list them, I'm going to provide some brief commentary for some of the songs. So at number 25, we have Sixth Sense by Common. That song is a very insightful song, a song that's about political awareness and consciousness. At number 24, we have another song by Common entitled A Song for Assata Shakur. Assata is a revolutionary. She was a member of the Black Liberation Army. She was captured by the government and convicted of murder. And while she was incarcerated, she was liberated from jail and she now lives in exile in Cuba. She is a modern day Harriet Tubman, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as many people are concerned. Number 23, we have Immortal Technique, his song entitled Fourth Branch. And that just talks about indoctrination, about how the media is basically the fourth branch of the government. That is a real deep song, and if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to check it out. And in the description box to this video, I'm going to include links to all the videos for each one of these songs so you can watch these songs or listen to them for yourself. At number 22 is Brand Nubian's song entitled Slow Down. And that song is about a loose woman who uses drugs and destroys her life. At number 21 is Self-Destruction. That song features many rap artists, including KRS-One, Kool Moe Dee, Public Enemy, and others. That song came out at the time when the drug epidemic really hit the inner city hard. It was at a time when crack cocaine first emerged as a major problem in our community, and with that problem, you saw a proliferation of violence in our communities. And this song was calling on people to stop the senseless violence. And sadly, we still have to sing a song like that today because we still have the problem of violence in our community. At number 20 is Tupac's song, Brenda Got a Baby. That's number 20, and it's about a young girl who is impregnated by her cousin and who ends up leading a foul lifestyle, and how she ends up discarding her own child. So at number 19 is Lauryn Hill. She has a song entitled Lost Ones. That's a powerful song that just talks about how African Americans are lost in many ways. The men are lost and the women are lost. And I could do a whole video just on that song alone and just on each one of these songs. At number 18, you have KRS-One. His song entitled Why Is That? That song is deep. It just breaks down how many of the prophets in the Bible are Africans. And it breaks down that history. And for many people, that was their first time hearing about that, understanding that the original Hebrews were African people. It's just a profound song. And, if you haven't heard it, you really need to listen to that song. At number 17 is another song by KRS-One entitled The Sound of the Police. That song basically compares the police to overseers on a plantation. That song is about police brutality. It's about abuse that we endure as a people in our communities. At number 16 is another song by KRS-One entitled Love's Gonna Get You. And it's about how people's love for material things leads to their destruction. It's about how a young person growing up in the hood is seduced into selling drugs and eventually gets involved in violence. At number 15 is a song by Black Star entitled Thieves in the Temple. That's a profound song, and everyone should know that the members of Black Star are Talib, Kweli, and Mos Def. At number 14 is Good Mourning by Talib Kweli. And that song, again, is another example of the violence that plagues our communities. And that's what he sings about. He sings about the profound violence that exists in our community. At number 13 is another song by Talib Kweli, The Proud. And that song was written shortly after 9/11. It talks about just the irony of 9/11. It talks about stereotyping, and it talks about just what it means to be an American and just the African American experience. That song deals with terrorism, and it really talks about how African Americans were not treated as American citizens in this country. And it deals with the irony of patriotism and still being a second class citizen in this country. So that's a powerful song, The Proud by Talib Kweli. Again, that's number 14. Number 12 is Kendrick Lamar's song Complexion that deals with colorism in the black community. That's a powerful song. Like not too long ago, there was some controversy about that song because uh, an activist pointed out how he has a light skinned girlfriend, but yet he's singing about how complexion doesn't matter. At number 11 is another song by Kendrick Lamar entitled All Right. And it's just talking about how things are going to be all right, you know, despite the police brutality and other problems that we face as a people, we're going to make it. At number 10 is NWA Fuck the Police. That is one of the first songs that really addressed the problem of police brutality in the black community. That song was bold. That song was rebellious. That song really shook up the status quo. And for that, the FBI began to threaten the group and investigate the group and all that stuff. So that's a classic song, a song that unfortunately is still relevant today, still timely today, even though it's been over 20 years since that song was released. At number 9 is Don't Believe the Hype by Public Enemy. Again, that's another song just telling people that they need to think for themselves. They should not allow the media to think for them. And in that song, they talk about how they see Farrakhan, Minister Louis Farrakhan, as a hero, and how they are not buying into the hype that tries to demonize the man. And the funny thing is, today people still continue to demonize Farrakhan, and even worse, people dismiss him as being irrelevant. And sadly, that's so-called conscious black people that are doing that today. So at number 8 is another song by Public Enemy entitled Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. Now I could have put all of Public Enemy's songs on this list, and they could have made, just Public Enemy alone could have made the top 25. But this song, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, is just about a black man being incarcerated for refusing to fight in America's wars. And then it talks about how there's a prison uprising, and the song is about how the main rapper Chuck D breaks out of prison. He's freed by the S1Ws. They're like their security force or whatever. They free him, and it's really like inspired, I think, by Assata Shakur's example, and revolutionary examples of the '60s. But that song is powerful. It's rebellious. It embodies like everything that was going on at that time in the late '80s, early '90s. At that time, you had a black consciousness movement afoot. Okay, so at number 7 is Day Schools by Dead Prez, and that talks about the miseducation of black people in the school system. At number 6 is Dead Prez again, their song Police State. And that song deals with police brutality. It deals with the role of police in society. And it deals with revolution. So again, that's another powerful song. And number 5 is another song by Dead Prez entitled Propaganda. That song raises profound questions about media indoctrination and propaganda, and also raises profound questions about the existence of God. It's a real deep song, and I encourage you all, if you haven't heard it, you need to check it out. And just like Public Enemy, a lot of Dead Prez's songs could have been added to this list, but for sake of fairness and time, I didn't add their songs to all of their songs. I mean, there's so many songs that they have that could have been included. At number 4 is X Clan, their song entitled Funkin Lesson. And at number 3 is another song of theirs entitled Heed the Words of the Brother. X Clan was a great group back in the early '90s. They were one of those groups that was teaching, dropping knowledge about African people and our history and our plight. This group had a funky sound. They played a lot of Parliament and George Clinton, that real funky type of music. And I think it was slightly like a couple of years before Dr. Dre and them popularized that funk sound. All right, so at number 2 is The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. That song is a classic. That song just talks about the plight of urban communities. It talks about poverty, jail, drugs, moral deprivation, and uh, dilapidated communities. I mean, it's a really profound song that really opens eyes and gives you a glimpse of what it's like in these urban communities. And unfortunately, everything that they rapped about way back then in the '80s, those problems still exist now. Like if you go through the communities here in Baltimore, you'll see living examples of what Grandmaster Flash rapped about in his song. Yeah, so that's number 2. And at number 1, I'll just throw in another Tupac song entitled Changes. Again, this list is in no particular order. Just tell me what you think. Are there some songs that I missed?